We're back with our 2021 rookie profile. Is Anthony Schwartz a Heat seeker? Watch and find out. Brad from RotoHeat and RookieDraftGuide.com. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, welcome. We're glad to see you. Hope you're doing well. Family's taken care of. Things are in order. You're being safe out there in the world. If this isn't your first time, welcome back as well. You know what? Everybody gets a big hug, all right? Everybody gets high fives. Like the video. Let's get this thing to 100 likes. Hit the subscribe and the notification icon. We have weekly live streams. Many nights of the week, we are live talking fantasy with you, talking rookies, talking Devy, talking IDP, all the things. So join us on this magical journey. I don't know. Let's have fun together. Let's enjoy. Let's make fantasy a better place. Don't forget, check out RookieDraftGuide.com. All right, my question for this one, a little different. Is Anthony Schwartz a sleeper in your mind? Is he somebody that has the potential to land in a nice spot where he could really use his talents and become fantasy relevant? Let me know in the comments below. Let's have a conversation about him. I think he's an intriguing prospect. Do you? All right, so Schwartz is an interesting cat. You know, when he was coming out, he was, if you looked at, 247 Rivals, like I mentioned in every video, that's kind of where we start this conversation at. He was one of the more intriguing guys coming out in the draft, in the recruiting class that he came out of. He was number 30 at the wide receiver position. He was just under 165 nationally ranked. He had lots of offers from big name schools. Bama went after him, Baylor, Florida. Ultimately landed at Auburn, and Auburn's done a good job producing NFL wide receivers, so I don't blame a kid at his position going to a school like that. Auburn's been a team that's kind of been in flux. They've been almost trying to find themselves in a way over the last few years, so he's kind of been in a weird spot with the team. But he did have opportunities, not a lot of them, but 2020 he saw the biggest opportunity. He was given plenty of action across from Seth Williams, or on the field with Seth Williams, I should say. 54 receptions, 636 yards, 3 touchdowns. Those were highs in college for him. He also got involved a little bit in the rushing game. This year, not so much success when given an opportunity, but in his rookie year, he had 27 attempts, 211 yards, 11 attempts for 118 yards in 2019. So he's been involved a little bit. You can see that you're starting to see a profile of a kid who can be moved and done a little bit of different things. Can give in some of those sweeps and some of those plays out of the backfield as a rusher if need be, to kind of the gadgety type guy, if you will. And he's got good size, good speed. He's 6 foot, just under 200 pounds. He's in the 175 to 185 type range. He's an interesting player. He really, when he given the opportunity, did as best I think you could expect for somebody in his situation. He probably projects to being a slot type receiver at the next level, but you can see that he can be used in a lot of different ways, and that could be fantasy relevant. All right, so the fantasy championship winning question is this guy a sleeper? So is this some guy you can draft in the third round or later and return significant value when it comes crunch time and you need somebody to step in due to injuries or any sort of thing like that? There's potential. There's a lot of potential here. Schwartz was seen primarily as a speed type guy at the collegiate level. He saw a lot of soft kind of off coverages for that and was able to get a lot of short catches that he can make big things with. And at the next level, he could be a home run threat at any given time with the ball in his hands. And teams are looking for that guy nowadays. Everybody wants that type of guy. And I'm not going to name names. I'm not naming names. You know who that name is. Everybody wants that guy on their team. Now, there are some deficiencies to his game. The route tree is a thing that anybody that I've talked to on our team or any evaluation I've seen, that's a little bit of a concern. Something that can be developed and built on very easily at the next level. Good coaches do that kind of stuff all the time. It's what they're paid to do. He has average to above average hands. He's not an elite hands catcher in this class. There's plenty of better options, and even other options that are just as electric and speedy and all those other fun, fast words that you could use. He's going to be a guy that probably goes a little bit under the radar and maybe even is a day 3 type pick or even later, depending on what teams are looking for. He could be a guy that has to catch on and work his way into action, but he's a guy that has enough traits and enough of the things that a team is looking for nowadays that somebody's going to give him an opportunity. You can't teach what he's got, which is speed for days, and that's a big one for teams. If he is a high character kid, good work ethic, willing to come in and do the little things, which sometimes it's starting with special teams and working your way up the depth chart, which I'm not saying it is or isn't going to be the way he has to go, but could be. Some guys have to do it that way. Some teams bring a guy in, let him be a returner, let him be a gunner on special teams, whatever, and then work your way into a spot. He might be that type of guy. Might not be, but think about the wide receiver class that he's in. There's a ton of talent in this class. Even on his own team, he's not even the best player from his own team. I mean, Seth Williams figures to be a day 2 pick most likely. And, and with so many really nice options in this class, it's going to be tough for him to get drafted early in the NFL drafts as well as our fantasy drafts. But I definitely think you guys need to keep an eye on him. Let me know in the comments below, is he a guy that you have firmly as a sleeper? Maybe you're out on him. Maybe you're like, dude, Brad, you're nuts. Like, this kid, not doing it. Doesn't do anything for you. Let me know. Let's have the conversation below. Be kind. I know I am. Listen, we thank you guys as always for hanging out with us, having the conversation, doing all the things. Check out RotoHeat.com, RookieDraftGuide.com. We got tons of content that we're pumping out on the regular. I know it's a quiet time of year in the off season. We're in mid-March. We're getting ready for free agency, but there's always things to talk about. And there's always ways to make your fantasy roster, your dynasty, that much better. We're here to help. We love you guys. We'll talk to you again soon.